Hello y'all, this is the Hearts of Iron 4 mod Kapital. It takes place in a world where Karl Marx became an anarcho-capitalist. Moving forward to the select country screen, we have quite a few featured nations here, and they are the Xeno Empire, the Russian Republic, the United States, the Chinese United Front, the British Empire, the Kingdom of Poland, the Italian Kingdom, the Belarusian Revolt, the Kingdom of Sweden, the Caribbean Defense Board, the Free Territory, the Ottoman Federation, the Kingdom of Hungary, the Kingdom of Denmark, and the Emu Kiwi Brotherhood. In this modifications world, anarcho-capitalism is the leading revolutionary theory, as seen here by places in the Free Territory and, say, the Chinese United Front. And communism in its usual sense doesn't really exist, and this mod may not be totally serious, since for some reason it likes using, I don't know, you have historical leaders like Huey Long here, but he has a different name, and he's called Willie Short. It's a joke name, I think. And there's also figures from the modern day that are kind of just here. So for example, we have the Dominion of Canada, and I think this is the personality Jordan Peterson, but he's a different person in this world. And I think Belarus is led by a younger version of Lukashenko, who is the current leader of Belarus as of this time. And there's just some really interesting things here. I mean, Australia belongs to the birds, and there are some new ideologies in Kapital as well. And let's look at all the ideologies here. We have just chaotic, communist, populist, liberal, anarcho-capitalist, corporatist. There is conservative, autocratic, nationalist, and social imperialist. Let me try to see what chaotic amounts to in social imperialist. So it says here for chaotic, just using Tibet as an example, it says chaos is a term used to describe ideologies that are located outside of all known political spectrums and are incomprehensible to the average mind. Chaos usually represents fanatical devotion in a leader, fanatical devotion to a leader or an idea. Okay, so that is chaotic as an ideology. I don't know where you can find social imperialist. I'm not really sure where I can find a definition for that. Yeah, I can't find anything. Let's see how the mod defines, say, anarcho-capitalism, and I am having to run this on the no-step-back version of HOI4 since that is the last updated version of the game Kapital works on. So anarcho-capitalist, its ideology description is anarcho-capitalism or Marxism is the leading revolutionary ideology around the world, calling for self-ownership, private property, free markets, and advocating for class struggle of the free people against the establishment and the state itself. And where is a corporatist state? Okay, so we have not Kim Jong-un here leading the Korea megacorp, and corporatist says, the description says, corporatism or corporatocracy is a branch of Marxism, advancing while advocating for the creation of a state that would function as a single corporation instead of breaking it into many weak companies. Anarcho-capitalists often see this as a revisionist thought that betrayed the revolution. So that's very interesting. I don't think I can find any kind of definitions for any social imperialist states, since they don't really exist at the start date of the mod, it looks like, maybe, which it is what it is. And let's see now go back to the political tab. It's just like vanilla HOI4 as it was during No Step Back. Go to the tech tree. It's basically just vanilla HOI4's tech tree, it looks like, from No Step Back when there was that armor rework and all of that, and the combat rework. And now let's see the factions of the world. There are a few, and so we have here, there's quite a few, like, let me see, there's the Imperial Spear, and it's led by the UK, the British Empire leads it, and that consists of British India, the British Empire, the Dominion of Canada, the Dominion of Egypt, and South Africa. Then we have the Stockholm Pact, and that is a few different countries, and it's led by the Kingdom of Sweden, and it also consists of Finland, the Republic of Estonia, and Latvia. And moving on, we have the Intermarium, and the faction members here are the Kingdom of Poland, who leads it. There is the Republic of Lithuania, there's the Duchy of Prussia, and the Duchy of Ukraine. And the Duchy of Prussia and the Duchy of Ukraine should be noted as puppet states of the Kingdom of Poland and Capital. And we have any more? There is one more, I think, and that is the Kapital. I guess this is like a anarcho-capitalist version of the Comintern. And it looks like the Chinese United Front is led by Chiang Kai-shek and Mao, which is very interesting. But anyway, the Kapital consists of the Chinese United Front and Free Mongolia. So those are all the factions. There are 4, it seems. Let's now check out all the countries in the world, beginning with the Xeno Empire in South America. And this is the only country in South America as they dominate the entire continent, really. And it is a social imperialist state. And the ideology description for that says, a strange ideology followed by the Xeno invaders. And I think its leader portrait for the first secretary is sourced from Juan Posadas, who in our timeline was a Marxist who created an ideology. I think he was a Trotskyist. He created an ideology called Posadism, which involved communism, aliens, and nuclear weapons. And I believe it's him. I could be wrong, though. And let's move on over to Africa now. And going over to North Africa, Morocco is controlled by the Spanish. The French they're in Algeria. The Ottomans have Libya, the Egyptians have Egypt, and say Sudan. And in West Africa, there's no really French West Africa, there's just a British Empire and the African Liberation Front in places like Liberia, Guinea, the Ivory Coast, and Ghana. There is Portuguese Guinea, and then over in East Africa, we have the Ethiopians, and Ethiopia controls Eritrea. They don't have Djibouti though. The British Empire is the only real colonial European presence in East Africa and capital by 1936. We have Belgium and the Congo. There's Portuguese, Angola, and Mozambique. We have Rhodesia. There is South Africa, and here is British Madagascar. And no French presence there either. And moving on over to, continuing forward to Australia, it's controlled by the Emu Kiwi Brotherhood, who have Australia and New Zealand and some Pacific Islands, and control, I think, Papua as well. Then we have the Kingdom of the Netherlands in Indonesia, effectively. We have British Indochina and British Malaya here. Yeah, there's British Indochina, effectively. And I think the Siam may control Cambodia and Laos, yeah. So Siam is kind of bigger in 1936 compared to our own timeline. The French aren't in Indochina at all. We have the Philippines. The Philippines are a puppet of the USA. And then moving forward, we have the Japanese, and they control the Empire of Japan has Taiwan and South Korea and many other islands. Then we got the Korean Megacorps. They have some deals going on with the Chinese United Front. And there's the Qing. There's the Empire of Tibet. We have Free Mongolia, who's in that faction with the Chinese United Front. And moving on to the Indian subcontinent, there is British India, and it should be noted Tibet, who was mentioned earlier, does control Nepal and Bhutan. And British India, moving on, I think Afghanistan doesn't exist in capital by 1936. It's split between the British and the sublime state of Persia, I think the Persians mainly control it though, and they have some kind of non-aggression pact with the USA for some reason. Then we have the Ottoman Federation, Jabal Shammar, and there is the British Empire and the Arabian Peninsula as well. I should also probably point out that the Turkestani Khanate exists in Central Asia. Getting more into Europe now, we have the Republic of Georgia and the Caucasus, and they are a subject of the Ottomans. Then we have the Russian Republic, and they are at war with the Belarusian Revolt, and they have some deals going on with the Baltic Federation in, I think, Estonia, maybe, or southern Estonia, and they have parts of Latvia as well. And the Russian Republic, potentially, if you play the mod long enough, they may have a civil war. There may be a libertarian Russia. I'm not entirely sure, though. Then going on to the Nordics, we have Finland. There is the Kingdom of Sweden. Norway, the Kingdom of Norway. There's the Kingdom of Denmark, who may be led by a Swedish rock star or some kind of, well, Lev the First is, he uses the photo of a Danish musician, I think. And we have the Republic of Estonia. There's the Baltic Federation, Latvia, the Republic of Lithuania, the Belarusian Revolt. We have the Free Territory, who may be a reference to the Free Territory of our own timeline with Nestor Magno, who I think was a anarcho-capitalist in the world of capital. And the Russians do have Crimea here, but they are fighting the Belarusians and going more into Eastern Europe. Well, more towards Central Europe, we have the Kingdom of Poland and their puppets, the Duchy of Prussia and the Duchy of Ukraine. Then there is Free Slovakia, and they are guaranteeing the independence of the Free Territory, or no, they're guaranteed by the Free Territory, and they are anarcho-capitalists. We have the Kingdom of Hungary. There is the Kingdom of Romania, the Bulgarian Tsardom, and they are a subject of the Ottoman Federation. There's the Greek state. We just have Mandate Albania, who has some kind of demilitarized zone in punished Albania. And there's Serbia. We have the state of the SCS, and I think that stands for something with Slovenia, Croatia, and maybe something else. There's the Republic of Austria, the Czech Republic. We have the German Republic, and there is the United Banks in Switzerland. I guess Switzerland is just controlled by the corporatist banking circles, it looks like. We have the Kingdom, well no, we have the Italian Kingdom, and for some reason Piedmont is demilitarized. There is Sicily, and they're led by, totally not Al Capone, named Il Padre. Well, that's the leader name, and they are guaranteed their independence by the British Empire. There is the French state. We have Luxembourg, Belgium, and the Kingdom of the Netherlands. Then there is the Kingdom of Spain. And I believe this modification does have a Spanish Civil War breakout at some time. There is Portugal, and going away from mainland Europe, we have the British Empire, and they control all of the British Isles. They have Ireland, and then we have the Kingdom of Denmark and Iceland and Greenland. And over in North America now, we have the Dominion of Canada and Newfoundland, and I think Brunswick as well, New Brunswick, and Nova Scotia, and St. Lawrence. We have the Kingdom of Quebec, led by Napoleon IV. There is the Canadian Republic, and going down to Central America, there is the Republic of Mexico, and the Caribbean Defense Board, who controls all of Central America, and Cuba and Jamaica, and all of the Caribbean, it looks like, as well. So that's pretty good for Sir Greenwood here, who's totally not Fidel Castro. And then we have the United States. And with that, this has been Kapital. You can check out the mod in the video description. The link to it is there. What do you think of it? Tell me in the comment section below. And after you do that, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and ring the bell for notifications.